Westbrook looking for James. He's got it. LeBron James, a shot at history. LeBron stands alone. The NBA's all-time scoring record now belongs to LeBron James.
Oh, baby. And that's how we're going to start today's show. LeBron James becomes the all-time NBA scoring leader, surpassing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar last night. And a Lakers loss. I was thinking about Shasky yesterday because Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was cooking after Shasky said he was weak. And
Did
I was
he pass the ball?
Well, he balled. They got the win.
I'm asking, how many passes did you see?
Well, you don't have a lot of guys on there. Would you pass the ball on that team? So anyway,
passing is an important part of basketball.
Well, not when you don't have any.
As we celebrate LeBron James, one of the greatest passers of all time.
Except you're on Oklahoma City where you don't have a lot around you. So you got to go out there and get buckets. You got to do what you got to do to go win. Who you pass it to? All the Jalen Williamses? Arkansas Jalen Williams?
I'm just
Santa Clara
saying,
Jalen Williams?
mix it up a little.
You got nobody out there. You pass
black hole, SGA.
You would have passed to Muscala? SGA's nice. But anyway, April 5th, 1984, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar set one of the most unbreakable records in sports. 38 weeks later, LeBron James was born, December 30th, 1984. You see the correlation here? See what we're doing?
Did you write this?
38 years later. No, I stole it from somebody. 38 years later, the king, LeBron James, sits atop the throne as the all-time scoring champ. 38,388 points. So a lot of 38s there, but I got to thinking as we say good morning to everybody out there getting off of work, graveyard shift workers, you name it. I'm not going to name all you today because you're coming down my road. Spinoni, Lubman, you too, Shasky. Good to see you in studio. This guy, LeBron James, lived up to everything. And I remember when Sebastian Telfair had his documentary on ESPN. I remember having the Sports Illustrated of Felipe Lopez at St. John's, skyscraping in Manhattan. Yeah. He had all that hype in St. John's.
13?
Yeah, 13. He had all that hype coming into St. John's. He was supposed to be the chosen one, the next Jordan. Baby Jordan, Harold Miner. Got the nickname Baby Jordan.
I don't know if Harold had the same. I get where you're going, but yes.
He didn't have the same cachet, but all these athletes who've had, you want to go baseball,
Would you
want to
throw
go Bryce
Kobe in
Harper.
there? There was a lot of hype coming out.
There was a lot of hype.
But he wasn't like the number one overall consensus.
Yeah, it wasn't like this.
No,
Because we were still new. We were still new to kids coming out of high school.
I remember sitting on Golden Gate in Arguello in a tiny little apartment with my buddy Seamus when Dick Vitale was broadcasting the first ever high school game that I had ever seen on ESPN at that point. And it was LeBron James. And I remember they were wearing those Irish jerseys.
St. John, St. Vincent's, there were St. Mary, St. Vincent against Oak Hill Academy.
There you
Number
go.
one overall team.
And I remember sitting there going, oh, yeah, this is real. This is absolutely real. This guy's going to be unbelievable. And so many people were like, it's not going to translate. Remember how many people were saying that?
I don't remember how many people were saying that because that was the beginning of cell phones or whatnot. Your boy didn't really have a cell phone.
We just used to have ESPN on 24/7 back then.
But I remember watching it at my boy Marcello's house, and we ran to the house at 4:30, and I was like, "We got to see this LeBron
Everyone
James dude.
did, yeah.
You got to see this LeBron James dude." And he dropped the triple-double, and they beat the number one team in the nation by 30 points. And I was like, "Oh, this is box office."
Yeah,
and then
it was
later
the
on,
passing for me.
Yeah, then later on, they played Matter Day and DJ Strawberry at UCLA, and I was like, "Look at the athleticism of this kid." I was like, I've never seen anything like this at this size, this weight, this athleticism. And then he gets drafted number one overall, and he's been coined the chosen one. Well, he's exceeded the expectations when we've seen a bunch of athletes have that type of attention on them and wilt under the cameras, wilt under the pressure of trying to deliver not only championships, but just deliver a winning attitude to an organization and pump life into an organization. The Cleveland Cavaliers were dead in the water. They had terrible uniforms. Everything about them was just awful. And he goes there to Cleveland, Ohio, and he flips that franchise, and he just gets better and better and better. I don't think we've ever seen a career like it. Now, is he the GOAT? If one game, right? And I don't want to get into this conversation about who's better, LeBron or MJ. For one game, I'm taking MJ. Nobody's ever changing my mind. But when you look at his career and exceeding the expectations and delivering year in and year out, it's not too many people's done it better than LeBron James.
You could make the argument he's had like 3 separate Hall of Fame careers all wrapped in one, right? Like the pre-Miami Heat stuff, then like the Miami Heat stuff, and then going back to Cleveland. right?
Right.
Like just the Miami Heat stuff alone might get you in the Hall of
Miami
Fame.
Heat stuff.
It was one of the greatest brands of basketball any of us has ever seen. Now, whether that's the greatest team ever, we could argue till we're blue in the face. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But like what they did, and then think about what he did evolutionarily for the game of basketball in terms of teaming up with your friends and playing with people that you want to play with. Player empowerment.
Yeah, which I didn't like. I think that's kind of weak when you team up with guys. But go ahead.
Bonte, honestly, like I don't have a problem with it. Like you're seeing it in baseball right now. Like Castellanos and Schwarber and Harper and Turner. These guys are all friends. Like they want to play with each other. We've seen this in the NFL with the Brady's boys. You know what I mean? Oh, Edelman and Wes Welker, and I'm going to retire and then I'm going to come back. I'm living in Tampa Bay, and Gronk's going to come out of retirement and come play for me. I kind of appreciate that. I think that's cool. Now, we could argue about player empowerment going sideways and look at Kyrie Irving, but in terms of what he's done, you can't deny how great LeBron James has been. Bonte, he hasn't just exceeded the expectations. He has been one of the most delivering prospects, phenoms, comments that we've ever seen in any sport.
No doubt. Not even close. Not even close. Who's in second when it comes to that?
Think about
Who's
this.
in second when it comes to that?
Trevor Lawrence. Okay, let's just right now. Let's go the current landscape. Trevor Lawrence. We knew from freshman year he was going to be the #1 pick.
No doubt.
Okay. Now Trevor Lawrence early on in his career, like I don't know. I think we all were like, man, if he's going to be with Urban Meyer, he might be in some trouble.
Yeah. Football's different, too, because you can get to rep. Like Michael Vick coming out of Virginia Tech, it was like, wow, Michael Vick. And we gave Michael Vick more praise in a loss in the Sugar Bowl to the Florida State, where he fumbled twice.
I'm just talking about phenoms delivering from day one.
Right.
At no point have you ever said, yeah, LeBron's not amazing. Like, from day one.
From day one
we knew he was amazing. Think about baseball. Bryce Harper. I remember where I was junior year. He's going to leave high school to go play in some, like, junior college wood bat league. What? The cover of ESPN magazine?
Remember that first game where he got called up at Dodger Stadium for the Nationals and his dad?
Was he 18 and 19 years old?
Yeah, Scott Boras is sitting behind the plate. He's at Dodger Stadium on a Saturday afternoon on Fox. It's like, wow, Bryce Harper's actually up in the big leagues. But it took him a while. Injuries, strikeouts,
and he's been
inconsistencies,
awesome.
But he's been great. Matt Wieters. Remember, Matt Wieters was on the cover of Sports Illustrated, this prospect for the Baltimore Orioles as a catcher.
Yes.
The next great thing.
Yes.
He didn't come close to living up to it. There's a lot more of those stories than there is to LeBron James, to Bryce Harper's or whatnot.
To me, and I was thinking about this last night, B, and I brought up Bryce Harper, the closest person who has delivered on their potential is Ken Griffey Jr. Ken Griffey Jr. was a top pick, okay, playing with his dad at 19 years old. His dad had him basically raised in the Cincinnati Reds clubhouse. And even then, as great as Griffey was, we can all say, God, he left a little at the end because of the injuries, which isn't fair.
He left a lot at the end. What about Peyton Manning?
Peyton Manning's up there, but he had a lot of
prospects.
You know
he
what?
had a lot of disappointments. But at one point he was the all-time leading touchdown passer.
You know what?
You know what I'm saying?
I hadn't considered that. I think you're right.
Because Peyton Manning is a freshman.
Close.
Yeah, it's close. And even then, we talked about the playoff failures.
Yeah,
but LeBron had a lot of meltdowns in the playoffs. No doubt about it. Like Tim Duncan.
Those are good. That's a good. Right. Peyton Manning's a really good one.
Peyton Manning's a good one. Hell, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Well, I mean,
who he just surpassed, had all the accolades coming out of Memorial Power High School in New York City, and comes to UCLA, wins national championships, plays in the first ever game in a dome against the University of Houston, goes to the NBA, Milwaukee, delivers a championship, comes to the Lakers, wins 5 more championships. The only thing about Kareem was that he didn't embrace being the face of the NBA. He's more of like, look, I want to be behind the scenes. I'm going to help out my community. But he wasn't in for the shenanigans. That's why Larry and Magic get so much credit for, quote unquote, saving the NBA, because they're a lot more outgoing. They were more wanting to be that. Yeah.
The Magic smile was kind of indicative of the difference.
Kareem had to scowl.
Exactly, which is unfair to Kareem. Like, Kareem's amazing. We were talking about how I just think he's underappreciated.
He is.
But Bonte, we're talking about like 4 or 5 people in the history of sports.
Yeah,
and like LeBron, you can make the argument LeBron has overachieved.
Oh, I believe so.
And I think so too, which is incredible. And when I think of like why I appreciate Kobe or Barry Bonds or just pick the athlete that you admire, Jerry Rice. What I admire the most in any walk of life is people that squeeze every single ounce out of their ability. Like there have been people, I bet there have been guys who are as talented as LeBron, which you've referenced, some of the physical freaks.
You ever seen the documentary Liddy Cook?
But Bonte has
have you seen that doc?
No, I haven't.
Oh, Liddy Cook. So Liddy Cook was in ABCD camp, right?
Okay.
And Lenny Cook was the LeBron James before LeBron James. This phenom, right? He was a senior. LeBron was a junior. And he just didn't do the little things to help his greatness. He was a natural 38-6.
But that's, I
this
think,
guy had the size, the athleticism, and he goes to ABCD camp, and Melo is looking up to him. LeBron's looking up to him. All these kids are looking up to him, and he just goes down the wrong path. He doesn't figure it out. Next thing you know, he's played in Puerto Rico. Next thing you know, he's overweight, and his career just never takes off. He gets a sniff, a cup of coffee in Summer League with the Boston Celtics, and that's it. I advise people to watch the Lenny Cook documentary because there's a lot more Lenny Cooks than there are LeBron Jameses. And he was arguably more talented than LeBron James.
Well, LeBron, no one can argue that he has not dedicated his entire life the same way Tom Brady did to being the best basketball player he could be.
Yeah.
Has he added elements to his game every single year? Of course.
Absolutely.
All right. Now, one of the things that really pisses me off in the Joe Montana argument that people refuse to acknowledge, Joe partied his ass off away from the game. And he's always bitter and angry and mad that his body let him down. It's like, Joe, you were doing blow with Huey Lewis. I love you, Joe.
But you know what,
I know the era was different. I'm not denying it. But he
got
gets
on that football field, and he was magical.
Yeah, but part of the longevity of what makes Tom Brady special, like people, you have to acknowledge it. Tom dedicated his life. He even said it in his documentary, you are going to have to dedicate your entire life to beating me. And there's a part of me that admires that discipline.
I think Joe, though.
Jerry Rice, same thing, Bonte.
Yeah, Joe.
Don't you think Randy Moss had more God-given talent than Jerry Rice?
Absolutely.
Okay.
He probably didn't get the most out of it. But at the same time.
But that's why I love Jerry Rice, and that's why I love Tom Brady.
At the same time, I don't know what these guys do in the offseason. So I think it's a little unfair to be like, hey, Randy Moss didn't work hard.
No,
what the hell he did in the offseason.
Not work hard. That's not fair.
When you talk about being a teammate, being a leader, all those other little intangibles, sure. You didn't get all that with Randy Moss. Jerry Rice was given. He found a chip on his shoulder, and he said, you know what? I'm going to go out there and ball out every single Sunday, and I'm going to prove everybody wrong.
I think the overarching theme that I'm trying to convey here is the practice habits of LeBron James, I think, are underrated.
But hold on.
The guy's in the gym. Look at his body.
Yeah, but the
40
guy's
years
never,
old.
But he's never improved his free throw percentage. His
3-point shooting has gotten better over the years. Much better.
It's gotten better, but he's never improved his free throw percentage.
Okay.
He's never really added that dominant mid-post game like a Kobe Bryant or a Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? He got to the free throw line, but he shied away from free throws at the end. The numbers are incredible.
You know how many great players in the history of the game have horrible free throw shooting percentages?
Yeah, no, I get all that, but he's 6'8", 6'9".
No, I agree. His free throw shooting. That's the one knock we've got on him. Free throws?
That's a big deal. He missed a lot of free throws. He shied away from the free throw line.
What's Wilt and Tim Duncan's free throw percentage? These guys are shooting at like the 50s.
They're bigs. They're natural bigs.
Well, LeBron's bigs. The one knock we have is his free throw shooting.
By the way, Tim Duncan.
I'm just saying on the court. Obviously, there's the team. The way he constructed teams, we can get into the minutia of that. I'm just saying in terms of squeezing every God-given ounce. That's why I love Kobe. When you maximize your potential and exceed it, I have tremendous respect. I can't knock you.
Has he done it? Has he done it more so than Michael Jordan? Because Michael Jordan in the NBA is the ultimate squeeze every drop out of my body, give you everything that I need all day long. Nobody's done it like Michael Jordan. That's the one thing where it comes to the whole GOAT argument, and I don't want to go there.
Yeah,
but
Mike took time off.
Yeah, but
why doesn't everybody? Why do we just gloss over that? Playing 20 consecutive seasons matters.
Yeah, okay, whatever. He took time off and came back and won more championships.
Yeah, but
to me that's impressive.
But Bonte, we can't deny that the time off doesn't help. I mean, come on, I'm sitting here making the argument. There's no way Anthony Davis gets through the bubble season without like a 3-month layoff. You can't tell me that 2 full seasons and more.
So longevity matters.
Well, when we're talking about the greatest of all time, yes, it does.
I think for one game.
So, like, Sandy Koufax is amazing, right?
So, for one game, you're taking LeBron or Jordan?
Why was it a one-game thing?
I'm just asking you, for one game to win.
That's a different question.
For one game to win.
That's a different question.
If he's so great, one game to win. Right now, like, if I ask you that question, but if I ask you that question about football, you say Tom Brady right away. Right away, you say Tom Brady. But I also have seen Tom Brady. He's one of the ultimate winners. He's the most decorated winner in football history. And that's the one knock I have. And I love LeBron James. He's my favorite player coming out. I preferred LeBron over Kobe. For one game, I'm still taking Mike.
But that's a different argument.
I know it's a different argument, but I'm talking about squeezing the drop out of your body. The will to win. That burning desire to win. There's too much other stuff with LeBron James where there's a lot of good. The community stuff, the school stuff, sending kids on scholarships.
He averaged like 50, 15, and 15 against the Warriors, greatest team of all time. One of the greatest teams of all time.
He left a lot in the NBA Finals. He left a lot.
Andre Iguodala got MVP because he held them down to 35, 12, and 12.
And the fact that LeBron James decided to team up with guys. Well, Michael Jordan's like, I'm staying here with the Bulls. I got my whole roster.
What are you telling me? He got Dennis Rodman.
They signed him. They took a chance on Dennis Rodman.
I mean,
Dennis Rodman, people thought he was lost.
I don't blame LeBron for those. He circumvented the rules. He created his team.
How many times did he have a
we
team
can't
they shipped
celebrate
out?
Bill Russell going and playing with 8,000 Hall of Famers and then knock LeBron for playing with Wade and Bosh. I enjoyed it. Like, I'm fine with it. If you're a Warrior fan, how can you with a straight face say that you're mad at LeBron for teaming up with people and then Kevin Durant came here?
No. Nobody's mad at it. I explained why are people so mad at Kevin Durant for choosing to go to a team as he was an unrestricted free agent.
So was LeBron.
But LeBron and Wade
even though he was
Bosh
technically traded,
plotted for 2 years about teaming up with each other. That was weak.
You and I plotted to put a show together forever.
No, that's different though. But that's kind of hard. We don't have that power.
Are you listening to this?
We don't have that power. How are you going to equate LeBron?
I'm just
Bosh,
saying, I
and
got
Wade
respect for
teaming
him.
up?
King, there you go, Bonte. Similarities.
Look, in a one-game situation, yes, I'm probably going to take Michael Jordan, okay? I don't deny you there. I don't even know why we have to do this stupid little, one-game scenario. Who do you got?
That's what we do in sports.
Yeah.
That's what we do in sports.
I'm just appreciating how great LeBron's been, and I think that he's overachieved. And that's crazy to say.
I think he's exceeded expectations. I'm not going to use the word overachieved.
He's going to be the all-time assist guy, all-time points.
I get all that.
It's crazy.
It is wild. He's going to have every record book. He hasn't had really, outside of the last couple of years, hasn't had any major injuries. He's played 82.
Yeah,
I thought he should have had a DPOY. I thought he was the best defender during his Heatles
2011,
days.
2012.
Right. I thought he was locking down everybody.
Thank you.
1 through 5, he could switch. LeBron James is an all-time great player. And the fact that he's in the conversation for being the GOAT says everything about his career. Like, how many guys, for every LeBron James, we see a lot of, Sebastian Telfairs, right? We see a lot of Dejan Wagners. We see a lot of guys who get hyped up.
I have not heard, wow.
You get a lot of hyped
Memphis.
up.
I haven't heard that name. No, you're right.
How many feet we're like, oh, this guy's going to be the great one. LeBron James
Joe
literally
Barry
on the cover. We thought, yeah, Joe Barry cares.
I mean, he was supposed to be one of the greats. Len Bias. I mean, you can go down the list.
And the crazy part is he's still averaging 30 a game.
No, Bonte.
He's still averaging 30 a game.
You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the 2 seasons in Oakland for Jerry Rice. That's what this reminds me of. And again, you want to say, and I bet you if I were to say here, if I had to take one wide receiver for 1 year or whatever, I might take a T.O. season or a Randy Moss season over a Jerry Rice season.
No, you're not.
I might. I'm just saying I might.
No, you're not. You're not doing that.
I'm saying if I'm a casual fan, not me, not Joe Shasky. I'm saying
casual fan.
Casual.
There's casual fans who think Randy Moss is better than Rice.
You know what? That's their prerogative. But when I look at the longevity and the body of work of what someone's done, you got to tap out at some point and be like, and here's the other thing about LeBron James. This is the other, we can argue about his personnel decisions till we're blue in the face. And I don't love all those things, but at some level, he earned every bit of that right to make those decisions for what he did for the 15 years leading up to it.
Yeah, he was great. By the way, I didn't say LeBron James overachieved. I believe he exceeded expectations.
I think he did. I think he overachieved, which is a crazy sentence.
Yeah, I think he exceeded expectations and he lived up to the hype and smashed the door in. I mean, it's unbelievable.
I think they're similar.
He had God-given talent, no doubt. God-given athletic ability. We're talking about a guy who's an all-state football player. An all-state football player, a wide receiver. And this guy could have been in the NFL.
Bonte,
unbelievable.
With his determination, which I think is the most underrated part of LeBron James's entire body of work, is his determination and his discipline. The guy could have been successful at a million different things. I mean, there is not one off-court thing. Not one. There's not a traffic stop. There's not him flipping off the media. The worst thing we ever said was when he lost the finals and he's sitting there and he's going, yeah, you guys got to go back to your normal life, which I think, look, it's a young man. He's at the lowest point of his career. It's the same thing I said about Cam Newton. I don't knock people for being angry in the moment after losing like that. I'm a sore loser too at times. LeBron's been amazing, and I'm not even a LeBron stan.
He's been unbelievable. He's been unbelievable. Great career, great accomplishment, and it was cool to see that moment yesterday. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who looked very uncomfortable because he doesn't like the limelight.
I love
Kareem. But to see Kareem there giving him the basketball, and LeBron James basically said, "Hey, give him a standing ovation." Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was all-time great. And we don't talk about his career enough.
What's the image?
Wilt enough.
The image of Kareem is the skyhook.
Yeah, no doubt.
Right? No, what's your image of LeBron James? Because I'm going to give it to you, and it's going to hurt.
It's the block against Iguodala.
It is.
A goaltend?
I mean,
I'm kidding. I don't
know. I don't know.
I'm kidding.
No, but I think that's the moment of his career. Winning that one in Cleveland, to me, like, as much as it pains me, you have to admit, like, that's his Dwight Clark over Everson Walls moment. Like, that's that still image I think a lot of people it's going to resonate for them.
Especially for Warrior fans.
And especially because it was Cleveland.
Yeah, he doesn't. All right, we're going to continue this on the other side.